And welcome back. I'm George Philbeck. This is my incredibly talented and very beautiful wife, Jackie Sosa Philbeck. And this is the mid-month report for November 2023. We do these reports the first of each month. We do them again mid-month because there's a lot going on. And boy, do we have a lot going on this month. Let's dig in. So the obvious place I want to start is saying the only thing that's important is you and your family. So happy Thanksgiving. If you're watching this, Thanksgiving's coming. Very best to you and yours. I hope you have a very full stomach and a great time surrounded by people that love you. And remember, you matter greatly. All right, let's jump into this. So a lot of you know that I've been predicting for the last 6 months or forecasting for the last 6 months that I think the interest rates are going to come down. Well, so much so that I doubted myself a bit because this has been a pretty tumultuous time, to say the least. I've seen them continue to go up. I'm saying, no, they're going to come down. They get up into the eights. Like, what the heck? I look like an idiot. My wife even said, like 2 months ago, she goes, well, I'll tell you what, if the interest rates don't come down or if the Fed raises the rates, she's going to throw a pie in my face. Well, we just had the Fed meet a little while ago. They didn't raise the rates. The predictions, let's get to those in a couple seconds. You're going to like the outcome. It's better for us as a whole, but there is going to be a little bit of a challenge in here. So in the last few days, the economic reports, the reports that are coming in, have started to forecast what is a hope that this recession is going to end, but it's not going to be rosy right on through. Now, the third quarter of 2023 was very robust. A lot of spending was going on, and that makes me a little nervous. I want to tell you why. So we have now in the United States, we have higher credit card debt, meaning held money on credit cards that's not being paid off every month, than we've ever seen. And I believe a lot of that spending, I think a lot of the smarter people than me believe a lot of that spending has come from there, from spending on credit cards and not paying them off each month. Now, there are people out there that are taking out second mortgages on their home. We'll cover this as well. If you bought a home in 2021, you have anywhere from 25 to 30 to 40 to even 50% equity on your property, which is pretty terrific. That being said, if you're taking out a second mortgage on that because you're paying it on your credit card, that's where we're running into a problem. This is nationwide. This isn't just the Orlando area. But that does weigh into why we had such a strong third quarter, hence the reasons our rates went up. Well, with the amount of debt we're carrying, our rates are not going to go up anymore. I mean, our interest rates, our mortgage rates went up, but the Fed interest rates have not increased. They did not increase them last couple of times they've met, they haven't increased them. They're meeting again in December. They're not going to increase them at that point as well. At least that's my forecast, and I'll support that with some others. Be careful out there if you're living on credit card debt. What I always say to everybody, especially this time of year, I think that the fourth quarter is going to be very lean. Now, very lean helps us and helps for what we do with the real estate side. It helps all of us because it's going to cause our interest rates to come down. You're going to love where this ends up in just a few minutes. So let's take a look at some information I put together. We have, which is awesome, cooling inflation. It didn't go up as much as it should. In fact, let's go over to the board. So the Wall Street Journal just reported that cooling inflation is likely to end the Fed rate hikes. Inflation cooled to 3.2% last month as gasoline prices fell, the Labor Department said on Tuesday. I don't know about y'all, but I was just up in Georgia visiting some dear friends of ours. I saw regular gas at $2.69. I'm like, ooh, that's phenomenal. And I am seeing the prices come down a little bit. Now, remember, fuel and food are not included in our inflationary, but they should be, but they're not. They changed the words, whatever the case may be. Bottom line is, though, it does make a difference. We see that. It doesn't change the scare I had for you that I was talking about with spending. Mind your money. We're going to get our interest rates down. Okay, so let's go take a look at another report that just came out as well. CBS reported that U.S. inflation rates eased to 3.2%, lower than anticipated. Now, the Wall Street Journal and CBS are not the only ones that are talking about this. We had really, really good news that happened just a couple of days ago that is really helping with this. Here's where we're going. I still think that we're going to see interest rates that are somewhere in the high fives to low sixes, and I think we're going to see them very soon, meaning in the next couple of months, at least by April and May. Now, what does that mean for the real estate market? Because that's what we're interested in. That's why you're here. I think it's a challenging time to sell a home right now, for sure. There are not a lot of buyers out there, but it's a great time to get prepared. You need to know what's going on in your particular market. And your market is a micro market that's in your community. In fact, there is a link down below if you want to get a valuation done on your property. I'll gladly do one. I do a generalized report, but I also do a very specific one. And I'm going to put a video at the end of this that kind of explains about the generalized one. The specific one, I really kind of dig into what's happening in your neighborhood. You need to be prepared. If you're thinking of selling your home, you want to have that information now and start tracking it to know what's happening. I believe that once we get into January and February, this market is going to get a little bit wonky. We've got a lot of seller demand out there with sellers that want to sell, that are either downsizing or upsizing, or perhaps for a new school district, whatever the case may be, and a ton of people that are interested in buying. But why would they buy with an 8% interest rate? The good news is coming. Stick with me. You're going to want to see this. If you're getting prepared, if you're thinking of selling, okay, great. Couple things that you want to consider. How's your curb appeal? There's a video down below that will also talk about curb appeal. How are you going to stage your home? How are you going to set it up for maximum exposure? If you're thinking of buying, stick with me a second. I'm going to show you where interest rates are right now and how the adjustment of your credit will help with interest rates as well. There's a video down below about repairing your credit. Please watch that because you'll be amazed at what the difference looks like. In fact, let's just take a look at how that credit score can help. Now, sellers, remember this because at some point, what we want to do is we want to create as much affordability as possible when we're selling our home. That means we want to make it as affordable as possible, not by lowering our price, but by making credit better and our interest rates lower so that they can afford more. Take a look at what credit scores have to do with anybody who's buying a home. So this is what I use when I'm creating all of our reports, from our sold homes to average sale price, day on market, interest rates, and even the affordability reports. I use this particular page to kind of figure an average so that it's always exactly the same. Now, currently what we're looking at is the $300,000, 20% down, 7 to 719 credit score. Current, this is today, right now, the 15th of November when I do the mid-month report. A regular conventional loan will be 8.2%. FHA is 5.5. Now watch this. This is kind of interesting. This is why you always want to check with your lender. Make sure you know what you're doing. At 10%, it actually drops a little bit. But here's what I'm most interested in. Credit score of 7 to 719. Let's take our credit score down to 660. Wow, does that jump up? But even more importantly, let's take it up to 740. And now we're looking at a 7.5 or 7.9 interest rate. Here's why it's important. What I'm about to show you, this is the time to work on your credit. If you're buying or selling, it doesn't matter. Get a copy of your credit report. Most of your banks should offer them for you. Take a look at it. Down below, as I said, there's our lending partner can help you with that as far as some credit repair is concerned. If you need help, his contact information is in that video. Please watch that. In fact, I'm going to put that video at the very end of this one. It'll be right up here or here. It's this side. I'll have it right here covering Jackie. You'll be able to just click on that when this video is over. Your credit rating is mission critical. Your credit rating determines affordability. Every month we talk about affordability and in the monthly forecasts of what's happening, our first of the month reports, and you'll notice that the affordability from really the last couple of years has shot through the roof and is currently at an all-time high of 58.99% at the end of October. That's about to change. Now, do I think prices are going to go up through the roof? I really don't, because I think we're going to get a lot more inventory on the homes when we get our lending and our mortgage rates a little bit lower. There'll be more buyers out there. There'll also be more sellers out there. So there's going to be more supply and demand. I'm hoping we stay fairly flat. The great homes, the homes that maybe watch that curb appeal video and start working on curb appeal and staging their homes, the ones of true value, they're going to get a lot more money for their home than somebody who hasn't done any of the work on it. Great marketing helps in this. Jackie and I'd love to talk to you about that. Shameless plug. We're very good at what we do. By the way, we work with 5 people at a time because we believe that extraordinary service requires extraordinary attention. We've run the big teams. We've sold over 5,000 homes. We don't want to do that anymore. We want to help people one-on-one. All right, let's get to the good news. Now, when you read this headline, it says the UBS sees a raft of Fed cuts next year on the back of a U.S. recession. Well, the truth of the matter is, in my very, very unbiased opinion, we've had a couple of recessions we've been playing around with for the last couple of years, and we've gone into one or two, depending on your definition of recession. But let's get to what I think is the better news. Under the key points, UBS sees slower growth, rising unemployment and disinflation to lead the Fed to cut its benchmark rate to a target rate ending the year between 2.5 and 2.75%. That's over a 2% drop in where we are right now. Now, you remember this interest rate of 8.205, and that's for a standard loan of $300,000, 20% down with a credit score from 7 to 719. Okay, what if we had that interest rate being somewhere down in the 6s or the 5s? So for that, I'm going to go to our monthly report graph, and I'm going to take a look at what the interest rates were when they were around, let's say, 5.5. That would be June of 2022 right here. Okay, so what's the affordability look like in June of 2022? It's 40%. Now, 40 on an affordability index is pretty good. That means 40% of your income is or it goes towards your principal and interest of your debt. Now, of course, if you have a car loan or student loans or anything that's over 11 months of obligation, that'll affect it, but we're getting to a much better place. Oh my gosh, this is terrific. This allows buyers to buy again because we're more affordable. We're not in the 60s, which is, you can't get a mortgage. If you're making $100,000 a year, you can't get a mortgage. If you're making more, you're going to be fine. But you all get the idea. We are unaffordable right now. We're unaffordable because of these interest rates, and they're coming down. I predict, this is my forecast, that I think we'll see the interest rates in the high 5s somewhere around March of this year coming. Please prepare if you're thinking of selling. Please prepare if you're thinking of buying. Of course, Jackie and I would love to talk to you. We get phone calls every day from people that are interested in getting some more information, really getting prepared right now. A lot of what we're doing right now is kind of counseling on what would be your next step. What should you be doing to get yourself ready to be in the absolute best position? And when the time comes, we'd love to be in consideration for somebody to help you. Right now, I want you to watch this video. It's going to be right here. Going to play next. And from Jackie and myself, thank you very much. By the way, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. You've seen it a lot. It helps us. It tells us we're bringing value. We'll see you real soon. God bless you. Happy Thanksgiving.